podcast. It is the 16th of April, and I'm here with Jody. We are at Sacred Mountain Retreat Center, and we have a few people in the background. And tonight we're going to talk about our puppies, since we know that the puppy program is becoming a big part of Sacred Mountain, and we're at 20, 21, 20 or 21 recipients in just a little over 2 years. A couple things real quick before we get going. We have 2 spots open for the May retreat, and we have 4 spots open for the June retreat. If you want to come in May or June, you still have an opportunity to get your application in. Go to the website, fill out the application, hit the send button. We are going to do a Got Your Six, hashtag Got Your Six drawing at the end of the podcast. Jody is going to decide what merch she wants to award the winner. So that is hashtag Got Your Six. Jared, they are back from their vacation. They had a meeting that they had to be at this evening. He might be on towards the end of the show, but it might not be till next week when we get to see him. We're still doing the hot rod raffle. We got the motorcycle show coming up May 27th, Memorial Day weekend, Saturday at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. It's going to be a great time. Jason and his team down at Deadwood Custom Cycles are doing a fantastic job of putting it together. It seems like it's going to be a pretty amazing event. We are going to have an open house here at the Sacred Mountain Retreat Center June 17th. We'll do it. I'm not sure specifically on the times, but it'll be for lunchtime, kind of in the early afternoon. Brought some burgers and just come up and see where things happen, where we are just south of Deadwood. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about our puppies. Jody got her puppy
July 4th.
July 4th when we were in Montana. That's right. Yep,
Yeah.
The last one. It was kind of a surprise. She came through the retreat in June and then went with us to Yellowtail, Montana, and we had Z, and I was kind of looking after Z at that point. And
She was the last pup.
Jody rode with me in the green machine, pulling the pontoon boat, and we made it to the pavement after we left the mountain, and you were like, well, this isn't going to end well.
Right.
So
what do we do now?
So then we made it to Montana, and they gave you the good news. Looks like we have a whole bunch of people on saying hello. Jody has a Belgian Malinois. She was one of Zoe and Fozzie's 8 pups that they had last spring. I've got Noxie. They're best friends. Let's so tell us a little bit about getting her.
So yeah, they surprised you guys, surprised me with her on the 4th of July. That was amazing. I bonded with her for almost 3 months, and then she went away to training TNS, with Wes Magnus, TNS Kennels in Wyoming, and I got surprised. She was surprised back to me. It was interesting. She actually went to training on September 11th, and then she got surprised back to me on Veterans Day. It was pretty amazing.
And September 11th wasn't there some significance to that other than 9/11 for you?
Yeah, actually the day before was one of my biggest critical incidents.
That was the day of the golf tournament. Yeah. And then Wes put on his gala for us down in Powell. And we went down there, and
she was sitting in a crate. They had her covered up, and I didn't know it. I walked past her like 3 times.
She wasn't covered up.
Well,
she was just in a solid top.
I didn't see
panel.
Yeah, it was a wonderful surprise. And I haven't been separated from her since.
Yep, they're pretty fantastic. So I have a couple of the people who received puppies this year at our winter gala. We have Richie from Washington and Greg Maynard from Florida. Brandon, if you want to bring those guys up, we'll add them to the conversation.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, guys. So how have things been going since you got your puppies? What has it been? 3 months ago now?
Yeah, it's about 3 months, right, Greg?
Yeah, pretty close to 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
It's been good so far. Like I said, these puppies are really, really well bred to begin with. So, like, granted, he has his issues, like standing on tables to eat my daughter's, lunch. But, beyond that, he's a super good guy. Listens really well.
Heard
Love
your
it.
goats, it looks like.
Yeah.
Post some videos on the puppy page and herding goats.
Yeah, lots of stimulus for him and our Springer puppy we have. Love the goats. They go out and visit their kennel every day to make sure that the goats are doing good and follow the chickens around. And, they're trying to get along with our cats, but they have more fun chasing them right now. Cats
Yep.
kind of initiated though, so I can't complain. They're playing the game.
Yeah. So if you hear puppies in the background, we've got Knox and Z and Jared and Tara's little Boston Frenchie are in the other room. They're wrestling with each other, fighting over one toy. So if you hear dogs in the background, that's what that is. What about you, Greg? How's Lucas doing?
Oh, he's doing great. He's getting big. Took him to the vet Monday for finished up his shots, and he's gaining weight. He's very active, but he's a good dog. He's learning quite a bit. There's still more to go, but right now I don't know. I can't picture my life without him. So,
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how fast they can.
It's going great.
Do you have him running power tools yet, helping you build decks and stuff?
Well, he comes out and helps me. He seems to want to run off with my tape measure, so that turns into a game of get my tape measure back. But but he comes out and helps. If I could only get him to teach him to tote lumber, that would be great.
There you go.
I want to talk to Wes Magnus about that when I bring him up in May, if that's something that can be done.
Right.
So,
teach him to drag 2x4s.
But
If Wes will do that for me, he
oh
loves
yeah,
to help.
oh yeah.
But he takes them and steals them from my daughter. I'm like, no, we got to put that. Need to go get the tool from the kids so I can keep working.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, he took her screwdriver the other day, a pair of pliers, looked around trying to finish what I was doing. I was like, all right, now you guys are working against me.
Yeah. So like for me with Knox, I noticed, pretty soon that my anxiety level, like that I dealt with, decreased, kind of almost within a couple weeks, even though I was still dealing with the puppy type stuff. Did you guys experience the same things, or, were you like, oh man, what did I get myself into?
Well,
Yeah, I've had those thoughts, but sorry.
No, go
For
ahead,
me,
Greg.
it was almost instant.
I've had those thoughts, but it outweighs there's other things that outweigh the negative stuff. But I think what it is, it gives you something to focus on instead of sitting around all the time and
Absolutely.
crazy things coming in. I mean, I'm always having to look after him, feed or let him out, or any different stuff with him. So
Make sure he's not running off too far with your tape measure.
Yeah, or chasing people on bicycles. I had the sheriff's department show up saying he was chasing somebody on a bicycle, and I'm like, Lucas doesn't know how to ride a bicycle. What are you talking about? Yeah, but no, we live in a rural area. That was a little joke, but yeah, he's a good dog.
Yeah, one of the best things for me is like at 3 a.m. You know, you wake up, and that used to be one of my kind of spiral times typically. And now I just have her right there to put my focus on and
Ready to party.
care for. Ready to party always.
Yeah. Z's always ready to party.
Yeah. Several times a night she is.
Sorry, my daughter needed some chocolate always, you know. Yeah, I did the double whammy. We got bass.
Where's ours?
It's still here. I keep doing Easter egg hunts with her. It keeps her entertained during these wash when she can't go outside. But yeah, it was a little challenging at first. You know, like I said, bass it's been really good. Like, I mean, my only real issue, I guess you could say, I even had was he's too friendly. So every time my neighbors walk by, he's taking off down the street, following them on their walks. I'm like, nope, you got to come home. Like, can't go see him. But so we did the double whammy. We got bass, and then our other, because we had a dog that passed away last year, that was 12 years, and then once Bass got here, our other dog that we'd had for 12 years passed away. So
Right, I remember seeing that.
you know, so the wife wanted to get a puppy. That's when we ended up getting Sadie. So now it's been a 3-year-old, 6-month-old dog, and a 5-month-old dog. It was a little interesting for a couple of weeks. They said the smallest one, Sadie, is at puppy classes right now because she is, Bass is literally a saint compared to this puppy. Like, he's so good. He's just like, oh, no, I'm not the one. Like, he'll literally, Sadie will be doing, I call her Shady. Like, she'll be doing some shady stuff, and he comes up and sits next to me like, I'm not even doing that. Like, look, I'm right here. Don't yell at me. I'm like, okay, good boy. So it's starting to calm down now. And like I said, he's super, like, insanely good dog. Like, literally every time I call him, he comes. Like I said, only thing I got to do is get him to stop eating my daughter's food. So I'm sure Wes can do that one.
Yeah.
I'll have Wes see if he can, you know, train him to herd goats, but he's got that down pretty well. So, you know, I need him to be able to herd my chickens up and put them to bed without, you know, pissing them off.
Yeah. We were going to have, Wes was going to come on. Maybe I already said this. Wes was going to come on, but he had some things that he had to deal with. So we'll have him on for another show.
You have any questions yet about the pups?
No, I don't think so. Robert Cole said he had a boxer in 01 that would go up on the roof with him when he was roofing. That was pretty cool. A few more people joining. We got Kurt and Michelle. Kurt will be here in just a couple days for a retreat. Him and his doggy Sarge. What else? What are some things that have happened where you were just like, what in the hell did I get myself into? Just a couple.
I haven't had that moment with her.
No? Oh,
I went into this one with eyes wide open. I knew I was getting a baby alligator.
yeah, that's true. You kind of had an idea of what you were getting. Noxley, I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting in a German Shepherd, but he's something else.
Yeah. Well, I'm very thankful to a black lab. Like, I love Malinois. I love German Shepherd. It's just more high energy, and that's key these days. So I love Bass. He'll go out and play, and then he wants to just come in and nap. And I'm like, dude, we're soulmates. This is great. Like, I couldn't do like a high energy dog. I'd just be like, all right, go chase the goats all day. I can't. Like, yeah. So he's just the right mix of just we can play roughhouse, and then literally he'll just sit down on the ground and be like, I'm good.
Yeah. So we just had a question. What is the best reason to get a service dog? And that, I think, is kind of a tough question to answer because
It's really really
There-
different for everybody.
Yeah.
And
And
everybody's needs are different.
yeah. So the reason that I wanted a service dog, the reason that I got a service dog, the reason that I tried for years and years to get a service dog is because, you know, I talk sometimes about how I don't like the VA and the meds and stuff, but one consistent thing from the VA is I always been told that I should have one because it would be helpful to me. So that's my reasoning for getting a service dog. Um, there's a lot of reasons to get a service dog, I believe. There's and just like anything else, there's good reasons and there's not good reasons. I mean, you know, when we do our puppies and our applications and go through them, we make sure that our people that are receiving our puppies are, not just wanting a pet. Like, these animals that all of us on here have had or got are not, they're not, they're not pets. I mean, they are pets to an extent, but they're also,
Much more.
they're just like somebody with a wheelchair or somebody with a
They're there to
cane
do the job.
or somebody with a pacemaker or, that guy dragging around his oxygen. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't look at it that way, and it's not that big of a deal. But service dogs should be treated like when I got Noxie in his vest on his leash. It's almost like people should look at him as an oxygen tank that I'm, because he's helping me, and you coming up and, hey, can I pet your dog? Or, from across the aisle,
Not helpful.
you're taking his attention away from what he's supposed to be doing. So I don't know if I answered the question, and
I'll add too, one of the things that when we evaluated, once you know you're getting a puppy, Wes, and before your dog goes to training, Wes did an interview with us to identify like what specifically each individual's needs are for that dog. Each dog is trained differently.
right, yes, yeah,
Of course, the obedience is there and that kind of thing. But as far as tasking, Z does several different tasks for me. And I know that not all the dogs are trained the same. They're trained for the handler.
right, yep, yep. So there was another question, Jody. How does your service dog help you in day-to-day life?
I think, well, the biggest is what I've already touched on is my focus, my absolute focus is she's with me 24 hours a day. And no matter what, she's my main focus.
So let's just back up real quick, because I already know what you're going to say, but not everybody listening does.
Sure.
So let's go back to, let's say, 2 months before you got Z, when you didn't have that distraction in your life. Where did you go?
Ooh, that's a big question. So I was that was 2 months prior was before the retreat.
Right, just before the retreat. Yep.
So I was in full growth PTSD symptoms, neurology, the depression, the anger, dealing with all the things that it brings, the nightmares, the lack of sleep, when you do sleep.
Right.
Z literally, and I just thought of something else too. Z literally helps me with all those things. So I touch upon when I wake up in the middle of the night and boom, she's there. That was a really critical time for me. If I ever get suicidal, it was then, in the middle of the night when nobody's around and you start thinking the worst thoughts. Man, what a amazing gift to be able to look over and, pretty hard to be unhappy when Malinois is licking you in the face.
Right.
Needing to go out.
Right. Yeah. And you and I are the same way. And I mean, we both know that, but yeah.
And driving was another huge one for me. For whatever reason, without getting into too much detail, I developed some severe anxiety around driving, and she keeps me she got me through that. I don't even know how to explain it, but that's gone now.
So, Kimberly Horn asked, does your service dog sense when you are in an anxious state? And I'm going to start and I'm going to say yes, that Knox totally knows when I am getting anxious. And what he does for me to realize that I need to kind of check where I'm at and check my emotions and my feelings and what I'm thinking about is he'll start biting on my arm. And, and I can, once I acknowledge him and tell him that it's okay, then he's good, but it's like a lot of people think that he's just playing, and that's what it looks like when we're out in public and he's, playing with me. He's telling me, hey, Dad, you're okay. You're good. Chill out. You're getting a little crazy here. You're about to do shit you don't want to do.
And it does, right? It totally
Oh, yeah.
takes your focus.
Well, when you got a
Yep.
German Shepherd biting on your arm, then you don't have any other choice but to pay attention. And for me, I noticed it even before Knox went to training.
Yep.
There was times in the middle of the night where he would come and jump up on the bed and lay on me and then get up and do a circle and drop himself on me to wake me up. Yeah.
She's Z can also, anybody she's connected to, if you have any kind of elevated emotion around her, she'll do the same thing.
Mhm.
She'll go to them and she was taught to give hugs and kisses as well. So that's pretty cool.
That's just because she's so sweet.
Yeah.
So Greg or Richie, have you guys noticed? Oh, there's Lance. Late to the show, Lance. What are you doing, bud?
I'm just hanging out, man. Trampoline in it. What are you doing?
No, we're just talking about our puppies.
Oh, you guys have a dog? That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, all four of us on here got one.
Oh,
Or-
yeah. Well, I don't see your puppies, but I see mine.
Well, they're in the great room fighting.
Oh, Joker.
Z and Noxie and Daisy are. Oh, never mind, they're not. They ran down.
Hey, what the phone?
Brandon's got some stuff to talk about in the background, huh?
Hey, before the show even started, bro, we were like, Lance is going to be late, so just bring him in when he gets here.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's always a blessing. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I was listening to you guys talking about the pups and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing for you, Lance?
Probably his nudges. He does like this nose nudge for me. It's probably like watching if my hands go into like kind of a fist to my side.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference, and it probably means to me it's go time, but to him it's just he just nudges and he keeps on doing it and doing it and doing it. Then he notices other people and he keeps doing it to them, and he won't stop until that behavior is disrupted. So he does more of a disruptive behavior pattern.
When did you get Thor?
I was the first a couple years ago when they did the first puppies at the gala. There was mine and then his sister. I don't know too much about the sister, but she's in Wyoming somewhere. So there's two puppies given at that gala. So yeah, we were the prototypes for the puppy program.
Yeah. The original.
Yeah. The original, I'll tell you what, when you get that puppy and it's a puppy, at first you're kind of like, oh geez, like I just got a puppy, this is cool. And it's like cute and stuff, but then you're like, oh, well, this is supposed to be my partner one day. And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's still a puppy. So I had to work with Wes a lot. And Wes had told me, like, there was times that I was struggling with Thor, and I was just like, oh.
1 minute?
Sorry, no.
Okay, well, listen. If
Hey,
you're
1
talking
second.
about, like, what do you
All right. So Richie or Greg, have you guys noticed your pups doing anything, kind of letting you know that you're maybe getting into your head a little bit?
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen that a little bit. I mean, like I said, he hasn't been to training. He goes into the June, but yeah, definitely when I started having some of my panic attacks or really bad anxiety, he doesn't. He likes to lay on me. Don't get me wrong, but he like not all the time. He kind of like it's when he feels like it, but yeah, definitely he'll lay on me and I'll notice and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm kind of freaking out. And like, yeah, I got you. He'll come over and not really the train nuzzling you guys were talking about, but yeah, he'll just come over and be like, all right, I want some attention. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks, buddy. So I've definitely noticed that so far. Just being a dog, he does that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's pretty crazy how they can just pick up on it and just know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even before the training.
That'll turn your volume up.
Thank you. Yeah, even before the training, what a natural Z was.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've heard a lot of the other handlers talk about.
Well, I'm gonna have to walk outside. Sadie's home, which means the dogs are gonna start barking and fighting each other.
Let's see. Kurt says that his service dog notices his anxiety through his breathing and his heart rate. And he said if he's having nightmares, he knows and licks his face to wake him up.
Yep.
You know, it's,
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the training. Sorry, now you can hear my goats yelling, of course. Shut up! Damn it. For living out in the middle of the country, I don't really have the quietest area. Chickens, goats, dogs, kids, you name it, something's barking.
let's talk about the I guess I know like the public awareness of people that I've dealt with. And I've traveled to Mississippi, and we went to Texas. I went to Minnesota, and for the most part, I haven't ran into too many people that have given me, issue with bringing my dog in. When we came back from the Powell Gala, what was there? 6 of us?
Yeah.
Six of
Six
us
dogs.
rolled into, I don't remember what that was, Perkins or something. We went and stopped on our way back up to the mountain from down there that Saturday when Jason was with us. And
I think the biggest challenge I've had is folks tend to believe that you have to have a vest on
right.
to be a service dog.
Yeah.
And I know I went through a couple episodes with Z where she's had some allergy issues. The vest was really hurting her, and I never want to be somewhere we're not welcome, of course, or cause a problem. But at the same time, that can be challenging sometimes when folks challenge you
Mm-hmm.
and just don't really know the laws or care to know the laws. But I find that remaining calm and just trying to educate them typically is the best thing because we're always representing. So.
Right. Yep. Yeah. It's pretty crazy that, even some of these businesses, just like at the cornhole thing the other weekend,
Mm-hmm.
the one guy, they're just not educated. And a lot of people are afraid to say no because somebody walks in with a dog that's questionable, and they're afraid to say no because they are under the impression that they have to let you in, and that's not the case either. They can definitely refuse you service if your dog is not behaving. Like,
Yep.
Putting that label service dog on the side of an animal is a pretty big deal. Like we're kind of expected to be held to a higher level of, behavior, I guess.
Absolutely. Let us know what you guys want to see for the giveaway too. If you have anything you've been trying to get your hands on.
Yep. Don't forget #GotYour6. Have you guys had any problems? I mean, I'm sure you guys have been taking your dogs out and stuff. Had any problems with them coming into anywhere?
Not really. I mean, Washington State's really pet friendly for most places. So, going to Tractor Supply, Walmart, and all that, just trying to slowly work that. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home dad, so he's not going a ton of places because I don't places. But yeah, I mean, I've had no complaints. First couple times, he was not a fan of those, sliding doors. But since then, he's gotten better. They said he's turning into real. I think that'll be a challenge for Wes. He's a real people pleaser. So whenever we go in somewhere, he's trying to suck up to everybody.
I don't know that Wes will have a problem with anybody, because doing anything, he's pretty magical with dogs.
Yeah.
In my experience. I've been in a few elevators with Knox up and down. In Minnesota, when we went to the motorcycle show, we were up and down in an elevator at the hotel and at the event. He hasn't had any issues. When I took him to Dallas, when I flew to Mississippi, we were in Dallas Fort Worth Airport for probably 5 or 6 hours, and I guess the only issue that we had is he didn't want to use the pet bathrooms,
Facilities.
and couldn't hold it any longer. So he decided that the middle of the main terminal would be the best place to relieve himself of the pressure that he was feeling. Luckily, there was like 3 cleaning carts around us the entire time, or like right in the middle. We were like kind of triangulated in the middle of them. So I just pulled out a bag and picked it up, threw it in the trash can, and they were like, "We'll get the rest."
Oh, right on.
So that was that, and I mean, that for me, it was kind of, that made me pretty anxious, just because I didn't know, like, I was expecting security to come up and do all kinds of fun stuff, but it was nothing happened, nothing. It was
I'll be happy to get the first flight out of the way with her for sure.
so so service dogs fly with their handlers. It is a ADA compliance. They have to accommodate, is the word I'm looking for. They have to accommodate you with a service animal. But again, if the dog does not behave, if it's unruly, if it's barking or growling at people, they do have the right to make you put your dog in a carrier, and it will have to ride in the belly of the plane. We have had a few issues with the airport and people traveling with their puppies leaving from here. As far as I know, all the rest of our handlers that have flown after they've got their pup and back from West, they haven't had any issues. Yeah, I think so. But right now, guys, we're going to take. Go ahead, Greg.
That airport thing, when I first brought Lucas back, it was a little adventure at the airport. I went and bought a carrier for him, and then got to the airport. The carrier wasn't right, and the young girl was like, "What?" Wanted to be argumentative, and went back to Walmart, bought a bigger carrier. Oh, well, that carrier is going to be big. It's too big. I don't know what to tell you. So I wound up having to stay an extra day up there. And then if it wasn't for like Kevin and Sandy Lombardo and a few other people there, I probably would have been a wreck. It was a nightmare. But you got to find the right person at the airport that understands, instead of the young kid that was just got the job working behind a counter. But other than that, all the way from Rapid City to Dallas, we sat 3 hours at Dallas Airport. And, didn't phase Lucas one bit. And then, from Dallas to Florida, it was simple. So,
Yep. All right, we're gonna take a quick couple-minute break here, real quick. I'm gonna refill my water, and then we'll come back, and we got about 25 minutes or so, and we'll just keep going. I want to talk a little bit more about the airport and that stuff, but we'll do that after the break. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Sounds good.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we go to break, I'd like to do a public service announcement that no matter where you are in the U.S., whether you're in the Dominican Republic or here at home, just remember, butter does not go in the fridge. Butter does not go in the fridge. And now stay tuned for our sponsors.
The locals' choice for lodging, dining, and gaming is the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort, located in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. The Lodge at Deadwood offers first-class accommodations where you can relax and rejuvenate in luxurious guest rooms and spa-quality suites. We feature free internet, the area's largest indoor water playland, a gift shop, and a 24-hour fitness center. Whatever you're craving, our 2 award-winning restaurants are sure to satisfy your appetite. The Deadwood Grill features chef-inspired cuisine and a large wine selection in a casual fine dining setting. Or choose the lively atmosphere of Ogie's Sports Bar. With televisions on every wall, it's a great place to meet your friends and watch your favorite games. Feel the excitement and explore our spacious casino, where you will find a large selection of the newest and most popular slots, a large table games area, and the Bet Lodge Sportsbook. It's all under one roof at the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort.
Do this song. This is a song I wrote about myself.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Voices of Valor. We got Greg and Richie's in the background. Looks like he's offline right quick. Jody's getting a drink of water. Real quick, for those of you that are just joining, we are, all of us on tonight are puppy recipients. We've received puppies from the puppy program through Sacred Mountain. Just real quick, couple HR things. Retreats, we still have a couple spots for May and June. If you would like to come and go through the retreat, please get online, sacredmtnretreat.org. Read about the program, fill out the application, and submit. Hit that send button.
Hit that send button. You've been waiting to do it? Send button.
Yep. If you're saying to yourself or the person telling you about Sacred Mountain, if you're sitting here listening to this podcast right now and you're thinking, well, I don't want to fill out the application and hit the send button because somebody else needs it more than me, then you, sir or ma'am, are the one that needs to fill out the application and come through this program. Because then you'll be looking at people telling them, hey, I went through this great program and you should go. Well, I don't want to do that. Somebody needs it more than me. Well, no, it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, but let's let somebody else have that spot. No, that's your spot. You need to take it.
Right. Hit the button.
Okay, so we got everybody back. Let's go back so before the break, we were talking about the airport and how there have been some issues that we've had, and for the most part, they were resolved and no further issues were had. But Greg, I did learn that per the ADA law, the airport staff is required to help you fill out the paperwork that you were that you needed to get on the airplane. They're required by law to help you fill that paperwork. So that's where I'm currently working on a little packet that future recipients will have that will have all of this information. And yeah, so we're definitely working on that part of it, trying to resolve those issues so we don't have problem. Not that it was a big deal, but it was definitely a major stressor. I mean, it was pretty tense for a couple minutes there.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't. I don't think it was it wasn't the airline or anything. I think it was, it was a young girl. I mean, She couldn't have been not too long out of high school. She just didn't know what to do, and she was there by herself at the counter. Rapid, it's a small airport, so. But luckily, it completely threw me through a loop that I just had to go outside, and luckily there was people there with me that knew what to do, because at that point I was just after a trip, a hurry up trip to Walmart to get another pet carrier, and then being told that pet carrier won't work, because I think I had like 40 minutes before it was time to board my flight to go to Walmart and then back. And then, pet carriers are not cheap, then spending that extra money and then the Uber ride. And it was just, but luckily there was some staff on hand that helped make that happen to do the right steps and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We live and learn, and that's part of our responsibility as handlers.
Every once in a while. Yeah. And, you get every once in a while you run into somebody that doesn't know the rules or the steps to take. And, it's got to be, it's an education experience for them. You just got to be patient with them to explain the rules or, educate them a little bit. So, the thing I have with Lucas, like with public, if he's got his vest on, is, people wanting to pet him and everything. I'm like, well, he's kind of, in training right now. But and like Jody said, with the vest off, for whatever reason, like Florida, it gets hot, and there's no way I want to leave that vest on them. You just got to let people know whether or not they're working or if it's okay or not. But other than that, my adventures with Lucas, it's been great. It's been real receptive. He's helped me out quite a bit. I'm not big with public events or meetings or anything like that, but the quite a few that I've been to that he's went with me, he's kind of kept me calm, level, not as stressed. So if you're struggling with things like that or depression or whatever, hit that apply button. It greatly makes a difference.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that one. I've noticed the stress levels, as long as he's being good, definitely for a lot of us, vets that deal with that anxiety, that depression, especially, public places. Yeah. Yeah. Just having that kind of, for lack of a better term, security blanket, even with untrained puppy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to when he's fully trained, take him anywhere, but all the places I take him to now, just, yeah, having people not focus on me and focus on him at least helps.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the petting thing, that's kind of a difficult thing because you need, it's important for these animals to be socialized and used to people and stuff around them, but you also got to have them where they're still, able to interact in a professional manner with people and not get excited when they do get to meet people. So that's kind of a tough spot for knowing when and when not to let people pet your dog.
I'm probably more on the other end of the spectrum where I like the interaction.
Mhm.
I like her to be social with people. And that really came out of because there's no way I could get out of her sight, out of her, out of the room, out
Mhm.
anywhere. Her attention is on me
Yeah, all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty fortunate there.
Yeah, it was pretty funny that just a little bit ago came inside. She was, as soon as the door closed, she's looking around like, all right, where in the hell did my mom go? This isn't cool.
Yeah.
Then she's seen you here.
I have the same thing with Lucas, unless there's food around.
Yeah. He's still a baby.
That's his only weakness is food. That'll get him every time.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, Bass just knew that I was kind of anxious being on here.
Yep. Yeah, I've
I'm
seen him.
playing, but yeah, his favorite thing whenever I'm doing that is to come up and lick my face.
And that's great that he does that. That just, that helps to know that he's going to be an amazing service dog for you once he gets past the
Maturity and training.
Yep. And even, like Knox, he's, what did I figure, 16 months the other day. So he's still, 6 months at least.
I tell
away
you
from
something.
being- Go ahead, Greg. I think Greg was. Sounded like he was gonna. So, Jody, we're getting down to, we got.
I
9.
noticed, like first day stuff with Lucas, and I don't know if anybody else has went through this, but like and I picked it up at the airport. I picked it up at the airport in Dallas.
Connection lab?
Can you hear us, Greg?
We lost you, Greg.
Earlier, we had to refresh the browser because I couldn't hear you guys anything.
All right. Well, so we have 8 minutes left.
Okay.
That means you have 7 minutes to
Yeah, I can hear you now.
decide what your.
Y'all got bad weather up there? Just
No,
like
it's-
cutting in and out.
It's sunshiny, and it might be the great Sacred Mountain internet we have here. Sometimes it goes in and out.
One of those things.
You know, the elusive Sacred Mountain internet. Okay, guys, just a few more minutes for the hashtag got your six, and then at a minute and a half before the show ends, we'll have Jody tell us what the prize is going to be, and then we'll do the drawing, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Don't forget, open house June 17th. Follow the Facebook, get on Facebook, and I'm sure that they'll be posting about it.
Retreats are filling up.
The retreats are filling up. We're getting ready to go for the first one here at the end of this, or on Thursday. Everybody rolls in. We'll have 2 or 3 dogs here.
Any final questions or comments from anybody? Anybody asking for a certain thing for the drawing?
Nope. We have the motorcycle show coming up Memorial Day weekend. We have Got Your Six campaign that is always going, $6 on the 6th of every month. If
Tim
you're out
Horn,
there-
you're going to be fine. Everybody's nervous at the retreat, but you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I think
it'll be
you'll love
great.
it.
You'll be nervous for about the first 2 minutes that you get here.
Yeah.
And then
So if you guys are interested in receiving a service dog from Sacred Mountain Retreat Center, I believe that we will be doing another drawing or another round of applications in the fall, close to our golf tournament. Don't quote me on that. I didn't double check with Jared before I said that. So hopefully that's potentially what's going to happen. And yeah, we'll just see what's going to happen. So I'm going to cut your time off a little short, Jody.
it's gotta be a sweatshirt.
You got to decide.
It's a sweatshirt.
A sweatshirt? Okay. So for the Got Your Six drawing tonight, we're going to do a sweatshirt. If you're chosen as the winner, send Sacred Mountain a message with your size. Robert Cole said he lost his nerves in Iraq.
Fair enough.
So
man.
due to technical
Robert
difficulties,
Cole.
I lost the little random thingy. So why don't you want me to just pick a winner, or would you like to pick a winner?
You can pick a winner. Oh,
You
can pick a winner.
I was gonna go with Kurt Peterson. He's the newest one that I've seen in the thread. Thank you guys. I suck.
Okay.
Bye.
Real quick, HR just messaged me from Sacred Mountain, and she says that applications open in June for puppies in September. So if you or someone you know is interested in receiving a puppy from Sacred Mountain Retreat Center and having them trained with our wonderful, amazing trainer down in Lovell, Wyoming, TS Kennels, please like the Facebook page and watch for the applications to come. They'll be posted in June, and those puppies will be awarded in September at the golf tournament.
And for anybody who doesn't know, we have a Sacred Mountain puppy page.
Yeah,
SMRC
we
Puppies.
have the SMRC Puppies Healing Heroes Facebook page or Facebook group, and it's open to recipients, family members, friends, yep, supporters. So thanks everybody for joining in tonight. Rich and Greg, thank you guys for coming on. Jody, thanks for driving up to the mountain. We will see you guys next weekend on Sunday. Again, we'll have another hopefully great show. Hopefully Jared will be back and he can do a little bit of the talking instead of just me.
Well, you did really good.
Thanks. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Remember, if you think somebody needs it more than you do, it's you. And regardless of where you are in the world, butter does not belong in the refrigerator. It doesn't matter if you're in America or on the opposite side of the earth, wherever that might be. Butter does not belong in the refrigerator.
Hey, we'll see y'all at May. Lucas and
Right on.
Sounds good, Greg. Love you guys. See you later.